Welcome to the realm of Manor Lords, a strategy game filled with challenges. Here, you can take the journey of a noble lord entrusted with building and managing a prosperous manor. Your adventure begins with a small plot of land and a handful of loyal peasants. Your goal is to transform this land into a thriving medieval empire. To achieve this, you'll need to master a variety of skills. Resource management is key. Secure a steady flow of wood, stone, and food to fuel your growth. Wisely choose which structures to build first. Will you prioritize farms for the food, or perhaps a blacksmith to craft tools or weapons? Each decision can affect your manor's development. Keep your people happy and well fed, and in return they'll work hard towards growing your kingdom. But remember to keep them safe by building a strong military to defend your lands from bandits and rival lords. Anything can happen, from weather affecting your harvests, bandits raiding your trade routes, and neighboring lords craving your resources, which could lead to wars. Try to expand your territory and make alliances to increase your power over the land. So guys, let's jump straight into the game and I'll show you how to get started at the different stages of what you could achieve. So guys, when loading in, as you can see, you can zoom all the way out and you'll be able to get an overview, and you will get pop-ups on the screen showing you kind of the tutorials, which, you know, I think it's a good idea to keep them because it really does help. So don't try and remove them. I think it's going to help a lot. So over here guys, you will see that I have started off with a very small little plot of land. I do have a couple of homeless people here, and they're actually going to be a sort of my crew. So if you have a look at the top of the screen, this is kind of like all the information you need. So I start off here with 5 people, so 5 families, and the way it works is each family come with different, you know, amount of people, and you can see all the information up the top of the screen. So starting off, we are going to assign some people some work. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to build some different locations. So starting off, as you can see, you kind of get the pop-up screens come on here, and what you're going to want to do is get logging camps. You're going to want to get some woodcutter lodges, and those 2 are going to be the main ones for now. If you want to plant more trees, I would definitely advise maybe putting some of these forester huts down. But at the same time, if you do look at the size of the map and the amount of trees there are, do have a lot of it. So again, it's going to be one of those things. I would advise maybe planting some down, but it's not going to be your immediate attention. So where you're going to want to build your land is up to you. You can go anywhere within your local realm. Your realm is going to be anywhere within the red zone. These other realms are kind of unconquered at the moment. And then over here, you actually have an enemy, or maybe not an enemy, but Heidelbolt is the name of the guy who owns these 2 lands. The outlaws are the ones that own this area, but basically they're free for you to try and take. I mean, you can try and take these lands as well, but I'm sure you will be met with some fierce opponents to fight, so maybe best not do that straight away. So right off the bat guys, what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to try and construct just a logging camp somewhere over here. You can use your mouse click to sort of position how you want to do it. So you click it down and then it gives you the option to twist it, and so I'm just going to plot it right here. And then what's going to happen is any families that are currently not assigned to jobs, they will actually help build the land. Okay guys, so timber requires oxen to be moved. Villagers will automatically get the ox when they need it. So the way that the ox works here is, unless you assign someone to it, which is going to be your best option, okay? So assigning someone to it means that it will kind of become quicker, because once they're assigned to it, they will always kind of know how to do it, and it will become a lot quicker and faster on how they move around the map. So moving the timber, you start off with a couple of supplies here. You start off with 8 timber. All your stuff can be found up the top here. So if you have a look at the top of the screen, it shows you how much like construction materials you have. It shows you your food. It shows you your fuel. And what we're doing right now is we are building the logging camp. And what the logging camp will enable us to do, guys, is basically to chop down more trees that are nearby. Now, obviously, this is a very big forest, so we'll have a lot of trees available to try and then build and cut down logs to build the necessary new houses and other buildings that we need. So the next thing I'm going to advise, guys, is honestly, maybe think about getting 2 of these. Now, the reason I'm thinking about getting 2 of these is because, as I said, guys, there is a lot. And I mean, there is a lot of trees here. So the workers will work towards wherever it is you put it down. So we're going to put it down right here on the edge over here. And this way, what we can do is build a road. Now, what these roads allow us to do is you can connect them to your existing buildings. And we're just going to kind of build a nice little road going through. So if I'm looking at this, you've also got to think of the main roads. Okay, so I am going to have a road that goes through sort of here and around. That way, we're kind of going to build along the edge, which leaves all this area free for now. So let's just show you here. I'm going to just build here to show you guys. I'm going to connect this road to this. And then we can build this to this one. And we're just kind of connecting the pre-existing areas, okay? So your oxen does in fact move quicker along roads than it would if it was grabbing stuff across to go like here. So right now he is taking the slower route because all I needed to do instead was if I was to build a road like this, it would be a much quicker path for him, but it's okay. He's already on his way. Now, the next thing, guys, we can look at here, once we have got these completely built, is we're going to look at getting a woodcutter's lodge. Now, what the woodcutter's lodge is going to do, guys, I'm going to put one over here, and then I'm going to put a second one here. The reason I'm having two, guys, is because it's just going to be more efficient to have multiple of them going out. That way we can get more and more stuff crafted as quick as possible. The woodcutters lodges are in fact going to be to create firewood, and we are going to need firewood, guys, to keep ourselves heated over the coming summer. So once you have crafted one of these areas here, you're going to be able to assign a family. Now, as you may know, we already have assigned one family to the oxen, and we're now going to assign one family to the log cutters. Now, the thing is, guys, once you have run out of assigned families, you're actually then not going to be able to build any new places. So you got to make sure you always have at least one family available to be working towards building. We do receive a new message here, and this is actually going to be from the opposing enemy lord. We are personally in this playthrough right now that I'm showing you going to be ending this conversation, but if you choose, you can choose to write back to him in either a nice manner or a more confrontational manner. I would advise, though, seeing as you do not have any form of army, to try and not to get on the wrong side of someone as of yet. So, guys, what you can do in this game, down the bottom right of your screen here, you see normal speed. We can increase it by 4. You can even pause it if you really want to. Say you want to read about something, make sure you're doing everything correctly. You can pause the time so it doesn't continue going through. But 9 times out of 10, there isn't going to be much time passing just by pressing play. But we can times 4, so you can see here that everyone kind of moves at a little bit of a faster pace. The oxen is kind of running now. Or we can go times 12, which really speeds up the process of everything happening. But there is a catch to this. If you are playing at a faster pace, you will be going through your year on a much quicker pace, and therefore you might not get things done in time. So you be very careful with this. So as you can see right now, we are currently in spring, but of course things can change here. You're going to end up having spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Now, we are going to have to make sure we have enough firewood and food to be able to sustain through the winter, because you do use up a lot more during the winter. So what we're going to start off by doing is thinking about food, guys. We are going to have to build a berry farm here. And the reason we're building this berry thing is if we can build this right next to here, for example. Perfect. And then we are going to use the road to connect the road to all of this. There we go. So now we have our little road, and the oxen will be able to get there a little bit easier. So with that being said, we do need to make sure though that we are going to be gathering food, because if you see here, we currently have 17 bread left. Now this is just our starter food right here and our starter pieces of wood. So we've got to make sure that we are going to be able to continue along the path to be able to grow. Now if you see here, we have approval. What approval is, guys, is it's the morale of your militia, you know, the morale of your town, your settlement, your people. The more happy they are, as in the more approval you have from them, the more they will produce and like reproduce and have children, babies, and improve and grow the amount of people that are basically going to be living within your community. So the logging camp, we're going to put one more family in this logging camp, and then finally we're going to put we're not going to put anyone in here yet. Actually, we've already got someone working in this logging camp, so we're going to put one person in here for now. So for now, we've got one logging camp working, and we've got one woodcutter's lodge working. You can even see the people. It shows you the two people, or the people that are connected to it. It shows you a line. So if I go for this one, I can see the people over here and over here. These are the people that are working for you, whether they're chopping the trees down. It's really, really cool. Then over here, you can see that the families that are unassigned, you've still got 2 more families unassigned. They are going to be working towards this now. So I'm going to quickly, very quickly here, speed up some time, trying to get this done as quick as possible. But be careful, you don't want to push too much time through. And there we have it. So now what this is going to allow us to do, if you see this, you can hover over any question mark. It's workers will gather berries and nearby berry deposits. So as you can see here, we currently have a berry deposit. And it does say that they're growing right now. So we're going to wait for this to fill up. Once it has filled up, we will then assign someone to here to start picking the berries. But we're not going to pick it just yet. We're going to wait for this to fill up. We do currently still have bread available. And then moving out, as you can see here, we do have a hunter's place. So I'm also now going to quickly come over here. And we're actually going to ask them to build us a hunting ground. Now, the reason, again, for this hunting ground, what we're going to do, you don't want to build inside this red land because it will cause the nature to migrate if you build too close to them. So we're going to build just on the outskirts here, and then with a road, guys, we're going to connect the road to here. In fact, I'm going to connect the road here to here, and then that way when they come in traveling down, so we'll build that there for them to pass through. And then finally from here, I'll connect to a little road like here. There we go. So I've now built my own little road that the oxen can use to travel down there. So again, this is going to be one of those things, guys, where I'm going to pass forward the time. The oxen will come through. He's got the log. He's now going to... Oh, is he going to go on an alternate route? Oh, no, here we go. So right now, the oxen is collecting. If you see here, he's collecting some wood and he's storing them in the logging places. But eventually, as you can see now, he's now going to go and collect the wood. Oh, where's he gone? He's gone to collect this piece of wood. Okay. Okay, so what he's doing right now is he's actually collecting the logs that are already filled up. So what I can show you actually is I can show you right now is... Oh, this has already been built. You don't actually need logs for this. I do apologize. So a family has already done this. Now, this here, the wild animals, we are going to actually assign someone here straight away. Now, so you see here, when population of the herd drops to this number, workers will stop hunting. So what we're going to do, we're going to put this down to 6. And the reason for this is we'll have 6 out of 20 remaining, which will mean that there's still enough animals for them to start reproducing. But for now, I'm actually going to keep it at 10 just for the sake of this. And what's going to happen is these workers here will go out and start farming. So as you can see so far, guys, we've got a very nice little start on here. And then the next thing we're going to look at is getting some more stone. Now, for the stone one, guys, it's all under construction here. So for stone, guys, we're going to go over to mining. Now, mining, you got stone cutter, and then you've also got mining pit. I would advise you to do the stone cutter. You're going to kind of put it right next to it, but we're going to try and put it down somewhere that we don't get any trees uplifted. There we go. So right there is perfect. And what we're going to do is we are, in fact, going to build a road that connects the two available here. Boom. And as you can see, we've now managed to connect the road to that for the oxen to make its path all the way through. So then, guys, the next thing you're going to want to look at doing once you've got the basic necessities, we've got food over there coming in. We'll very soon have more. Oh, in fact, here, as you can see, it's completely finished growing. We're now going to assign one family over here. But if we assign a family over here, right now, we only have one family unassigned, which means this over here will not get built. So if I was to assign a family, this would not get finished constructing. So we are going to wait for this to finish constructing. By doing that, I can speed up the time, and hopefully by speeding up the time, we'll be able to get that done a lot quicker. As you can see, there is rain coming in, which means we need to be very careful of our goods being destroyed. So as you can see here, guys, once this has been built, which is very close to being done, we are now then going to be able to focus on the last little parts for the basics. So now that that is complete, we have a couple more things for basic necessities. That being said, we are going to have to look at, guys, getting some granary. What the granary will do is it will protect all of your supplies, like your food. And then finally, we're going to have a storehouse. Now, what the storehouse is going to enable us to have, what the storehouse is going to save like all your wood, your timber and stuff like that. Any stone you may have and things like that, guys. So these are the last two things that need to be built that are a kind of a necessity when it comes to keeping your resources safe. And then after that, the last and final thing you're going to want to look at is starting to build houses. So again, we're just going to skip some time forward here to try and get these last couple of things made. So as you can see here, we're currently building the granary. And then finally, we're going to start towards the storehouse. So guys, now that you can see here, the granary has indeed been stored. And what you're going to want to kind of do is have someone in here to be able to take the supplies over into there. So we are going to end up losing a family. So what we're going to want to do right now is, because right now the oxen isn't really going to be used, what we can think about doing here is actually unassigning someone from the oxen. And what we're going to do is put someone into the granary for now. And what will happen is, as you can see here, guys, the people are taking the resources and storing them in the different places that are needed. And then finally, we're going to also take them out and put them in here so that they can store all of this storage supplies right here over into the storehouse. So that family is then going to start taking stuff out and they'll put it into there for you. So finally, guys, the last thing we're going to want to make here is going to be the housing. Now, obviously, for this, it's just a starter village for you, but you do need to think about your location, what you're close to, how far it's going to take you to travel. And what we're going to look at here is, I'm just going to do something very simple for now, just to show you guys how it's done. So you need to go over to residential, go to your burgage plots, and what your burgage plots allow you to do is kind of free roam how you want to build them. So, for example, I'm going to start here. And if you see this arrow, the arrow indicates the front of the house. So if I have it this way, the front of the houses is going to be facing this way. If I do it this way, because of the roads here, it's going to start facing down this way. So for now, we're just going to build, let's just say, to here. And then I can choose what angle I wish to go at. So if I want to go here, I can build this sort of way. Or I can elongate it and build like that. It's really kind of cool how you wish to choose to build your houses. But you have two different style of houses here. So you have one style of house where it has just a single house with a bit of land at the back. And what this land will allow you to do is kind of build, say, carrots or house chickens and stuff like that. If that is the case, you may want to think about building a longer back garden, because if you're growing carrots, for example, you're going to want a longer carrot section, if that makes sense. But if you are building chickens, you don't need a massive amount of room for the chickens. Furthermore, you can reduce the plot size to, say, 2 different areas. But what's going to happen here is, for example, we've got 1 family, 2 family, 3 families. But if we reduce the size in half, we can actually have 1 family, 2 families, and then 2 more small families here with bigger back garden space, which is actually going to allow us to grow more carrots and then still have 4 housing. So we're going to do that. That's going to be a lot better for us in the long run. And again, we're just going to quickly skip through some time here, and I'm just going to show you how these get made. And there you have it, guys. So the houses are slowly being made, and what you can do in the meantime, guys, is look at some other things. So think about where you're going to want to build your roads. Think about where you're going to want to build like the future of your houses, the town you're going to be in, because there is so much to grow, guys. You've got taverns, you've got churches, You've got corpse pits for if people invade you and die. You need to make sure you also have a well. And if you see here on this overlay, you can actually see where the underground water flows through around your house, or around your village, I should say. And therefore, you're going to want to think about exactly where you're going to want to put the well, and that's also going to affect where you build the rest of your residential area. You can, in fact, guys, if you go over to, for example, on the right hand side here, you have an overlay, and with your overlay you can kind of see underground water. You can see Emma fertility. So Emma is going to be your wheat, where you grow your wheat. So as you can see here, green is going to show you where wheat is good to grow, yellow is not so good, and then obviously orange and red is even worse. Then you have flax. This is for clothing. So as you see here, this whole area that my land is in is not good for flax. Same with barley. Barley is not very good for building within this area. And the way this is going to work, guys, is you need to think about when you own a piece of land, what you're going to want to do in this land. So if I want to make a farming land, it is not a good idea for me in any way, shape or form to think about farming barley in this area. If I want to farm barley, I'm going to more think about when I take over this land, or maybe when I take over this land, because it's going to be much better off for me to farm barley on. Same for flax, which is made for clothing. If I'm going to farm clothing stuff, it's not going to be within the land I'm currently in. So these are all the different things you need to think about before you are starting off, and where you're going to end up growing your different lands. So as you can see here, we currently have our burgage plots. They're very small little homes available for you to then move residents in. And as you can see, we currently have 2 living space, but we need a total of 5, because guess what? We have 5 families. So that means I'm also going to have to build a couple more. So from here, I'm just going to build, say, up to this part. And I'm just going to build some small little houses for now. But guess what? I'm going to build 4 houses. Although I only have 5 families, for more families that move in the future, I've now got room available for them. And this is going to be a very, very strategic point. You're going to want to make sure you have enough houses. This is also a very crucial part. Please make sure you build enough houses and forever be expanding, okay? So we have 4 houses here, but then we also have enough for 2 extra families in here. So that's enough for 8 families right now, but we only have 5, so we're looking good. To get the extra residents, guys, we do in fact need to make sure that we are doubling. So you see expanded living space? I can click on this expanded living space, and what that allows it to do is it's now going to be upgraded. So again, by fast forward in time, we're going to be able to get the workers to obviously build these houses and also upgrade these current houses that are already here to get that extra bit of living space. So guys, now that we've looked at the basics on how to grow your land, now let's see what else we could achieve greater down the line. Let's fast forward a lot. So here, guys, we have moved on to my other village. Now this is my main village here. We'll look at that in a little while, but we'll show you kind of where you can get to as what you progress forward. So as you see here, it is currently winter, guys, and as you see here, I kind of have a little bit of a village going on. It is nothing crazy. We just have something growing. We've got the church down. We've got all the different sort of areas, and it's kind of more of a farming little village, this one. So we're going to try and move it forward here just to try and get the rid of the snow a little bit. But as you see, I thought I would show this is a perfect time, right? As you can see, they're all level 1 burgage plots. So as you saw during the start of the video, you were able to make your own little burgage plots. Now what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade them and kind of show you exactly how we get towards doing that. So as you see here, you have requirements, and the requirements are water access. Obviously you can make a well for that. The church level, which means you need to build yourself a church. And then you need food stands, and on these food stands you got fuel, you got food and clothing. So the only one we haven't got ticked here is going to be the clothing one. Now to get the clothing, you're going to need linen, leather and yarn, and to get that you're going to need to be building yourself a tannery, weaver's workshop and some other things. So if you go to construction right here on industry, you're going to have different available things to build, guys. That way you can craft the different items. So I've built myself a tannery for the leather, and I've also built a workshop for the linen and the yarn. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be placing some families in here. Once we place the families into here, what that's going to enable us to do is going to be able to then automatically make a stall for the market. And once that stall for the market is done, we'll then be able to upgrade these burgage plots. So as you can see here, we've got someone over here at the bloomery, which is turning the iron ore into pieces of invisible iron, which is going to make the iron slabs, and those iron slabs will then go over to be able to then turn into tools and weapons. The iron is coming from here, which is where the workers are digging up the iron ore, and then the iron ore is then over into the bloomery to fix. So with that being said, guys, we're now going to be looking at the speeding up the time, just so we could try and get a little bit of these built. And what you'll notice is when we do speed up this time here, you'll notice clearly that these places where the people are working, they will actually open up their own little stand here in the market. And when they open up the stand in the market automatically, as you can see here, clothing store is under construction. The families are then going to be able to start selling anything that they make in here, which is then going to make the people living in these burgage plots all happy. So if I was to click on here now, as you can see, the clothing store has now been complete. So with that, I now have the ability to upgrade to level 2. Now, I don't know if you see here, I already have the carrots growing. So, for example, here I have a burgage plot that has absolutely nothing on it. So, with this burgage plot, we are able to construct the backyard extension. And with that backyard extension, we can either have carrots, we could have chickens, and we can have other things. Now, to be able to grow these things, guys, you do in fact need to make sure you have enough wealth. And the way you earn wealth is by simply the people here working their things, trading and stuff like that. So with that being said, guys, we're going to try and make sure we don't spend too much money here. But to upgrade, you do not need to actually have anything available other than purely the wood. So we're going to quickly upgrade to a level 2, and then we again, at the moment, this one hasn't been met because there's not enough food. So we will need to try and find more food. At the moment, the berries and the animals is all we have, so we're gonna have to definitely look towards doing some more, because winter has just come by. So with winter just coming by, the food supply did get a little bit low. In fact, it's at 0 right now. So let's hope that we can get some berries coming in for the food, which is gonna help be able to upgrade. So once you have a level 2 burgage plot, you're gonna notice right up here, it shows you how to make a medium village. So to get the medium village, you're going to need 2 at level 2 or higher. And what we're going to do here, as you see, this is now level 2. And with level 2, we are actually going to be able to start crafting these things here. Again, it does cost money, but now I can start making some war bows. I'm also able to start crafting spears and sidearms. And overall, guys, I think this is kind of cool, because you do also need this to be able to make clothes. So... and also beer. We also have beer. Okay, guys? So you're going to need a level 2 in order to be able to actually start making a bigger village and upgrade to the following level. So, guys, this is kind of a medium-sized village that I have. Well, it's actually a small village what I have right now. But let's move over to my main village where I started all this. And as you can see, it is of a much bigger size. Now, with my main village, we have a lot of burgage plots. We have some of them all at level 2. They are doing different things, like we have a joiner shop, we have a blacksmith, we have a Fletcher shop, tailor shop, and then over here, I know we have a cobbler shop, and then we have more market stands over here. We also have a load of houses. We have just kind of a bit of everything. We've even got our main manor over here, which is kind of where you eventually be able to upgrade your castle. But this is going to be for a whole new video. So over here, you can kind of upgrade, add in towers and stuff like that. So this will be another video if you guys are interested. So moving over here, to be able to get the next stage, we are going to have to make sure we have the clothing stands available the tavern. The tavern is the next thing I'm working towards, because unfortunately, as per showing you guys earlier on, when it comes to the tavern, I need barley, and this area is no good for barley. So eventually, as you can see over here, I'm going to be growing barley in some of these fields. Barley is being grown in this one right now, and wheat over here. But if you have a look through, you can see that there is going to be barley being grown on these patches throughout the different years. And what I'm going to be doing is using this barley to trade and barter with over into this city. So using the pack station, I'm at the moment gathering ore, but eventually I'm going to be trying to gather some barley. So if I was to find it on here, I'm very bad at finding things. So guys, what I'll do is I'll find barley over here, and I'll exchange, say, some roof tiles for some barley. That way they will bring me barley, and I will give them roof tiles so that they can then maybe, say, upgrade their church and upgrade other areas within their city that they need to upgrade. So I hope this has helped, guys. I hope you enjoy the sort of different levels in which you can reach. I know a few friends of mine who are playing this game who have got some amazing villages right now, and I mean, they have villages in all of their surrounding areas. But guys, this is still early access. I am genuinely, I've never played these sort of games before, but I'm having a ton of fun, especially with the fact that you kind of can just build your own little village, town, and everything. So guys, please let me know if you'd like to see more videos based on this game. I'm thinking about potentially making some more videos based around like the best tips and tricks I found, and especially when it comes to mistakes I've made. There have been a lot of mistakes I've made, and I've found out the hard way. So maybe I could make some videos showing you guys the mistakes to try and stay away from, that is going to help you grow at a much more efficient manner. As always, guys, I want to say a massive thank you to all of you for watching this video. I know it's something I've never really made a video on before. I hope it was still a good standard for you guys and you enjoyed the video. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you the next time. Goodbye, guys.